right, good morning. This is Doug Borcherding with Meridian Business Services. And I'd like to welcome you to our webinar, DSI Direct for NetSuite, Automate Warehouse and Improve Inventory Management with Barcode Data Collection. Joining me here today is Jim Hoskins, the Vice President of Oracle and NetSuite Cloud Services from DSI. And we appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules to participate in the event today. We have muted all lines, but if you have questions as we proceed through, please feel welcome to use the chat function to present questions to us. And Jim and I will take those questions at the conclusion of the DSI Direct demo, and then at the end of the session today. A little bit about Meridian Business Services. If you're not familiar with us, we are a full-service professional services consulting organization, both on financial services and, as we discussed today, the NetSuite solutions and services. This is inclusive of business needs assessments and consulting. NetSuite, we're NetSuite Suite Success certified, and I'll explain that a bit in a bit more detail here. And then we have collaborated with DSI to present a solution called Suite Distribution Inventory Management for manufacturers and wholesale distribution solutions across a myriad of the business processes that you see across the bottom of this particular slide. What we are all about is helping organizations move from legacy environments that look like the hairball of integrations and interconnections between myriads of systems that build up over time as organizations grow and change, to a modern landscape that is built upon a single data source or a single system of record and interconnected between multiple business processes, be it e-commerce, be it customer relationship management, your core financials, or your operational supply chain, which is the focus of our discussions today. And to that point, NetSuite is very adept at bringing together and creating a common footprint for a customer 360-degree view, an item master or item master record 360-degree view, and an order record in a 360-degree view. And this is very important because whether you're in accounting or in operations, you're in sales, or you're in senior executive management, everyone in the organization is viewing the same customer data, the same item and inventory level data, and the same order management data, which is very difficult to do when you're operating in that hairball effect or electronic spaghetti of integrations. As I'd mentioned, NetSuite is, and today's conversation is focused on the suite distribution for wholesale distribution evolution and from a manufacturing standpoint. NetSuite's very modular, which allows any implementations to be very incremental. So only procure what you need and extend and enhance as necessary over time, all on a single system of record and a single data source. And to that end, I want to introduce Jim Hoskins, again, Vice President of Oracle and NetSuite Cloud Services at DSI. Meridian and DSI have joined our solutions delivery teams to bring an optimized solution for inventory and warehouse automation. Meridian sells and implements the #1 cloud ERP, which is NetSuite, And we have coupled that with DSI's digital supply chain platform. The intent is to help you optimize your business processes across your extended supply chain with dynamic integration with NetSuite ERP. And today we're going to talk about the direct for NetSuite portion of DSI's product line. They have several levels that can help you scale over time. Direct for NetSuite is a natively integrated inventory optimization tool set. They have a platform as a service, cloud-based capability that works inside and outside the four walls, and a cloud inventory service that's also integrated with NetSuite that does operate at the highest end of the spectrum, allowing you the most robust inventory management, warehouse management capabilities. Jim, anything to add there before we move on, describing direct for NetSuite in a little bit more detail?
Yeah, Doug, thanks for the introduction, by the way, and I'm excited to talk about our capabilities with barcoding and integration to NetSuite. Yeah, as far as the DSI product lines, I think it's a really good strategy to grow with, these growing NetSuite organizations. Direct for NetSuite is, completely bundled, no additional servers to manage, very focused on data collection and the standard processes that exist within NetSuite, and really creating a very streamlined user experience. And then, moving beyond that, when there's a lot more custom or customer-specific functionality, our platform as a service gives a great deal of flexibility in how you can solve for both your inside the four walls, the warehouse needs, and needs like such as field service, case management, route sales, through delivery. And again, like you said, cloud inventory is a robust, warehouse management application that allows for, directed and super intelligent processes for the warehouse. So, yeah, we feel like it's a good mix, especially in the NetSuite market.
Thank you, Jim. And for purposes of today's, and sorry, there was a build there, Jim, I wasn't aware of. There is an enterprise printing platform, and we'll, at the conclusion of the demo, we'll go into a bit more detail here. But DSI also provides a label management and cloud-based enterprise printing platform that underpins each of these different core elements of their digital supply chain platform. Today, we're going to talk specifically about the direct for NetSuite capabilities. This provides data collection applications from receiving to put away, pick, pack, and ship capability, inbound inventory management to outbound shipping. This is DSI is a member of the NetSuite Suite App Developer Network in SDN. So this application is purpose-built for NetSuite and is natively integrated to run from within the NetSuite landscape. It's very quick and easy to install. It's an activation over a 1 week time period. Before we dive into the demo, just a little bit more on the functions that are available through DSI Direct. The core capability, PO receipt, item bin inquiry, cycle count, inventory adjustment, sales order pick are part of the core capability. There's an extended capability then that it expands those solution set into item transfer, an RMA capability, and bin put away. Again, underpinning all this is work order management capability, a shipping function, and then the EPP platform is integrated to handle your item labeling, shipping labeling, and other label requirements. So with that, let me migrate here, and Jim will locate you and pass you the ball. So you can begin the demo. Bear with us while we shift presenters here, folks. All right, we can see your screen, Jim.
Perfect. Well, again, thanks, Doug. So today we're going to walk through a few of the transactions that we have in the DSI Direct applications. As you see, kind of right front and center in my on my NetSuite screen is a DSI Direct menu item. So this is, as I said, this is a native application built for NetSuite. Delivers through a bundle, and so again, no additional user management, no additional servers. It's very, very quick to install and quick to get up and running, so you have fast time to value. Today what I'll show you is bringing items in through a purchase order, maybe transferring some items to the warehouse, doing some adjustments, and then packing and shipping those items out the door. So we'll be able to go from receipt to ship here in just a few moments. So showing you how fast our platform can work. What you see in front of you is my mobile device that is actually a ruggedized Android device that I'm using mirrored to my laptop. And then I've got a purchase order open, a sales order open in NetSuite, and then the DSI Direct applications open in NetSuite. Starting out with the mobile device, the user would select the order receipt app they were going to receive, and so they scan in their purchase order. If they have a purchase order off the sheet, scan in that order. System's going to be pulling this back, so this is direct from NetSuite. If you look at the purchase order you see here, it mirrors exactly the purchase order in NetSuite. I'll go ahead and scan in my item. And this is a lock-controlled item, so items that are lock and serial controlled, there's going to automatically prompt you for that, and with that, system knows that up front. You can see that I've got a thumbnail of the item, so if I wanted to do a look and see what is this item that I'm receiving, what's this item that I'm picking, putting away, transferring, we get the visuals of these items. I'm going to go ahead and scan in my lot number, and I'm not going to pick an expiration date, although we do observe expiration dates. And then go ahead and do 5 of this item. I'll add that down to the line, and then I've got another lot that I'm receiving, and I've got 5 of that one. So you'll see that I've received my 10 items. Save that back, and I'm going to go ahead and receive this item, CTP5, and you'll see that I'm using barcodes for all of my items. Very quick to work with. From a barcode perspective, the reduction of errors in the warehouse go down significantly using mobile, and being able to affect your system and your data at the point of activity increases accuracy, especially with respect to inventory accuracy, which people drive their businesses on inventory, and if your inventory is not accurate, it's definitely a big problem for your organization. So this will drive a much higher inventory accuracy. I'm going to go ahead and scan in another lot number here, and I'll enter my quantity of 10. So I'm just going to receive those 2 items in, and I'll leave the other 2 received short, and that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and I've got it set up to select a bin. I could receive this to just a put away location, but in this case I'm going to receive it directly to a bin. So it's prompting me for those bins. And submitting the order to NetSuite is immediately processing it in NetSuite. It'll return back a successful receipt and transaction, and if I refresh my page in NetSuite, you'll see that I have indeed received 10 of each item against my purchase order. You also see with our integration to our EPP platform at the bottom of the screen, I can print labels for these items. So if you don't have a vendor that supplies item labels, or maybe you've got your own item number scheme versus what your vendors, maybe they're do everything through UPC, which we could scan in the UPC and then print out the label for your own internal item number. So we could print those right here at receipt and use those labels, put them on our items, and then flow that all the way through your process. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick bin transfer. So since those items I brought into my bin one, I'm going to go ahead and scan, walk up to my bin one and scan that, and then I'm going to scan my items that I received. And so it knows, again, it's lot and serial control, and so I can scan my serial number, or my lot number in this case, and it'll just go ahead and increment a quantity of one. Well, I can just keep scanning that serial number or that lot number. Now, in this case, I have two items with the same lot number, so it knows that and it's smart enough to figure that out. So I've got a quantity of 2 that I've scanned and I want to transfer to my bin 2. I'm walking up to bin 2 and putting those items into my second bin, and those items are now transferred through the system. I can take a look at and do an inquiry of my bin. So I'll do a bin inquiry and scan in my bin 2 where I put those items away. And you see I've got a number of items that I've scanned, but my DSI lot 001, I transferred 2 more items in there, so it took my items from 12 to 14. So you'll notice that we can do any kind of inquiry on these items where, again, we can go and get details of an item if it's got an expiration date like this item does. But I also can, again, we're trying to be very, very integrated with our printing solution. If maybe I've damaged an item label and I want to be able to reprint an item label right at this time, we can do that right here from the inventory inquiry. And we can scan and do a item search. If I wanted to do a lot or serial search, I could enter in my lot number, scan that in, and look at all the different locations where that lot exists. So lots of functionality with being able to scan that. Actually, doing a bin inquiry in NetSuite is actually a bit of a challenge. You actually have to do a save search for that and build a save search. They don't really have that functionality out of the box where we provide that with the mobile application. Let's go ahead and move on to a order pick. So I've got my sales order that I have, and these items are included in that sales order. Again, I'm going to scan that sales order. I could scan multiple sales order, and then the application would tell me which orders I'm picking for, so I could separate those things out on a cart. But in this case, I'm just going to grab a single order here and pick, pack, and ship this order. So you'll see that I've got the items. It's already listing the items, and it's telling me my pick quantity. Again, if I click on that pick quantity, it knows that these are lot-controlled items, and it's giving me all the lots and the expiration dates if they have them. Some of these don't have expiration dates on them, but so you can go and pick the most appropriate items. I'm going to go ahead and pick a quantity of 2. That's what's on my order. Click OK. And then I'm going to pick a quantity of 1 for this item. And hit OK. Go ahead and submit those items and approve the pick. So I've got my fulfillment created in NetSuite. I'm going to go ahead and go over my sales order and refresh my sales order and look at my history on my sales order. And you'll see that I've got my item ship and my shipment number, and which is 533, which is the same as on my device, and can show that the items have indeed been picked. I'll go ahead and do a pack ship. My order ship app. Again, I can scan my sales order number. Just to validate that that is indeed a order that is in the state, in a pick state. So I can go and get that order. And, you know, what I'm presented with here is the items on my sales order. Well, I can also select my cartons that I want to pack these to. So these are cartons that correspond with the packages in NetSuite. So I've got a couple items to pack up here. I'm gonna create 2 cartons out of this. So I'll put this item in one carton and one of these items in another carton, and then I enter my weight. And so I close that box, and it'll take those items off the list and give me what's remaining. So I've got a remaining quantity of 1, and I've got a box weight of 1. I'm going to close that box, and I can review the boxes that are packed. If for some reason I've got something that maybe I didn't pack right, or decided that the item's sticking out of the box in a funny way, and I want to repack that, I can unpack those boxes and repack them at this point. I'm going to go ahead and submit this, process my shipment, and go back into NetSuite, my sales order, and you'll see that I'm at the pending billing status. So, and the items are processed with the quantity of 1 and 2. We have, in addition to our standard pick, transfer, inventory adjustments, item count, we also have. So if you need to be able to do a item count where you want to do like an ABC structure, or you want to do a multiple bin count, we can set that up in our platform. You will see that from an application perspective, we in our platform, our applications work for whatever device type that you have. So if you as long as it's an HTML5 compliant device. So in this case, I do have inventory count, in this case creation. I'll go into the screen here, and it's a desktop type environment. Well, you'll see that I've actually got a different menu for my end user or my back office user, excuse me, and the end user on the floor. So I had the inventory count creation and the approval, and then in this case, I can set up a count. Maybe I want to just do a count of 1 bin. Create that in the back office. Those are all the items in the bin. I'm just going to go ahead and make it easy on myself here and just pick this one item that I'm going to count out of this bin and pick the inventory variance account that's defaulted in. So I started that count, and then I go over to my mobile device, and I'm prompted for that count. I've got that, another count to do, so I'll go ahead and do this count. It's going to tell me you got to go to bin 1 and go count item CTP5. Well, I know my expected count, my lot was DSI 001, and my expected count was 10, I'm going to go ahead and do an go out there and maybe one of them was broken or whatnot. I'm going to go ahead and do a count of 9, or I only counted 9. Nope, I must have not put it in right. Go back. Let me make sure I got the right lot number. Sorry, guys. Might have entered the wrong lot number, and it won't let you put in a lot number that doesn't exist in the system. So there's validation there, DSI 001. So let's see, DSI 001 and a quantity of 9. Well, I'm having an issue. So always fun with live demos sometimes. I'm going to go ahead and go out of there and go back to my inventory count. I'll set up another count. You know what? I know what it is. That count might be driving that one negative, but I'll go ahead and do an inventory adjustment on the device and show you the inventory adjustment. So go into the device. I'm going to do an item with my item CTP3 and my bin 1. I can do a search for all the items in that bin, and I'm going to do a positive adjustment on this lot. I can select my adjustment account. In this case, I don't have one defaulted for this user. So I will select account. It's going to tell you what the original on hand and available quantities was, and then my adjustment quantity. I'll go ahead and hit submit on that. All right, and the transaction was successful. If I go back into my inventory inquiry, the final inventory inquiry here, and look up that item, I'll do a lot serial inquiry for that item. Sorry, I'm going to do the item inquiry. And you'll see that we've got 22 of that item and lot right there. So happy to take any questions that you guys have. If there's some questions, we'll review that real quickly. And happy to work with you and figure out a way to make barcoding be highly successful and automate your processes in your warehouse for receiving, pick, pack, ship, work orders, and all the inventory movement. So thanks, Doug, and I'll turn it back over to you.
I tell you what, before you hand the ball back, I had a question because you made an important point that the system, DSI Direct for NetSuite, is able to be used via PC, perhaps in a back office environment with an HTML5 capable browser. But we've been doing the demo here with a kind of a iPhone type skin. You know, are there other devices that I could use DSI Direct with that may have an embedded or incorporated scanner? I've noticed been scanning things along the way.
Yeah, so we have been scanning things along the way. So there's a number of devices that we can help you with. We resell all the devices that we work with, but Android and iOS devices with an HTML5 compliant browser, and so Honeywell, Zebra devices. Those are tend to be the best devices for the warehouse, along with ruggedized printers. We will work with that in the label printing side of things.
Okay, and DSI resells several of those devices and supports those devices as well for DSI Direct as well as the other digital supply chain platforms that we talked about as we entered, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, really appreciate the walkthrough, Jim. I'm going to take the ball back here and share my screen again. We're seeing the demo screen, Jim?
Yes, sir. Say that again. Sorry.
You seeing the DSI Direct for NetSuite demo?
Yes.
Okay, great. We saw this slide already, but just wanted to reiterate again with the integration of DSI Direct for NetSuite as a native app, as well as the other portions of the platform. DSI was named the Oracle NetSuite Partner of the Year in 2017 for bringing the digital supply chain platform to NetSuite. Again, handling the work order shipping and label printing capabilities, as well as the functions that we've demoed today in the core and pro segments. We've mentioned this at a number of points, but the DSI label printing, the EPP, Enterprise Platform Printing capability, is a cloud-based solution for label management. So not only allowing you to create your own templates for labeling, be it receiving, item level, manufacturing, or shipping, but managing it all from a cloud capability and extending it to your own ecosystem beyond the reaches of your own organization, perhaps to your vendors and suppliers or customers as need be. Jim, any other follow-on commentary to that?
Yeah. So one of the things that I would add there is that as depicted on this slide, one of the things that DSI does with the combination of Direct and our EPP platform is we're able to print from a mobile device to any printer that is registered in our system. So it can go and traverse the cloud and back to the printer that's at your packing station, at your receiving station, maybe even like a hip printer. And so we work with all the major vendors there as well for label printing, whether it's high speed, whether it's a desktop label printer. So the platform where I think it's really unique is that where you can ship from a mobile device. You don't have to go to a shipping kiosk and still print, whereas in typical fashion, you'd have to open a browser, bring in the shipping label, and then click print, select the printer. We do that all automated through our mobile device, so really saving a lot of steps.
Outstanding. Thank you. Note, if you wanted, we had alluded to the activation of DSI Direct is pretty straightforward. The core and the pro solution delivery costs are and user subscription fees are identified here. In keeping in concert with the incremental or modular nature of the NetSuite solution set, you can mix and match, so to speak, core and pro. Pick your selected implementation, core capability, and then add work order, shipping, or label printing to it, as your situation requires. The browsers that this works on, Google, Microsoft Edge, Mozilla, Firefox, and Safari. So all of the major browsers are supported. We've got an example in terms of a pro plus work order and what the cost per user and delivery cost would be. So, quite very straightforward. Any further comment, on this, Jim?
No, Doug, I think you got it. Again, we're really trying to make a very, very quick time to value and straightforward approach to our pricing and delivery.
You bet. All right. So quick rundown of why Meridian Business works with the NetSuite platform. We are an exclusive reseller and implementation partner of both NetSuite and the DSI platform. But we've talked an awful lot about a single system of record or single code base, and really that's the reason that IDC has identified NetSuite as a leader in the mid-market cloud solutions, predominantly because of the single code base and the single system of record that it presents across multiple of these solutions. And DSI's extension of the NetSuite landscape with DSI Direct as a native app, it continues to reinforce that common order master, item master, and customer master as you've seen in the demo here. And that particular attribute provides quicker access to the data for all business functions, not the least of which is the inventory optimization, barcode data collection, as we've seen, and providing seamless updates and upgrades as your business changes and adapts to new environments. What this does is deliver proven benefits in the NetSuite space. Tied to the supply chain theme of today's webinar, we've seen 45 to 75% reduction in invoicing costs and an increase in order processing efficiency of the same magnitude, and an increase in 360-degree visibility, certainly as it relates to your order management and inventory capabilities. But don't take our word for it. Glassdoor has seen transaction volume increase 5x without adding staff and reduced their monthly close cycle by 5-fold as well. Meridian has been involved with NetSuite for over 12 years. We're a certified, NetSuite certified implementation partner, and we take a operational angle to the implementation of business processes through an agile implementation model focused on your bottom line results rather than a technology-only led project. We thank you for joining us on the seminar today, or the webinar today. Our next webinar will be May 15th, also at 11 a.m., and we'll be highlighting growth strategies to help you cope if you've outgrown manual or QuickBooks-based business processes. And Jim, I want to extend, again, a thank you for joining us here today. I do not see any questions on the chat line, so we'll consider ourselves adjourned for the time being, and I hope all of you can join us again on the 15th or future webinars as we get those published. Thanks again, Jim.
Thanks, Doug. Thank you, everyone.
You bet. Take care.
You too.